Republicans, though, I'll give them some credit. They can walk and chew gum at the same time. It's comforting to say this. I wasn't that hopeful at first because we got a lot of rhinos in the Senate and still the House. But look at what they've been doing in the last 90 days. I tip my hat to them. It's thanks to a lot of the America First Republicans in the House, though, that are pushing these weak-kneed Republicans. Unfortunately, we don't have enough of them. We need more. Jeff Van Drew is a New Jersey congressman representing the 2nd District who, as I said, sits on Judiciary Committee and Transportation. He's also a representative who saw the craziness of the left a few years ago and literally left the Democrat Party to join the right side of history. I want to welcome Congressman Jeff Van Drew back to the program. Congressman, how about it? Are you guys trying to cut thousands of Border Patrol agents and screw up the border more than it already is?
Of course not. And if you ask the Border Patrol agents, they'll tell you that we've been defending them, standing up for them, fighting for them, that we need them there, that we need them to be empowered, and that they just shouldn't be doing paperwork. They know it. We know it. The Democrats know it. And you're right. I've just never seen, Alejandro Mayorkas is the best one of all. He looks you straight in the eye. There'll be a green screen behind him of people bursting through literally the border and coming into this country and sometimes getting through without being checked because there's so many of them, and yet nothing really happens. This president doesn't try to stop that. And Alejandro Mayorkas says everything's fine, nothing's wrong, and we have complete control of the border. I mean, it's one thing to lie. But the bald-faced lie, when you're looking at something together that proves that you're lying, is amazing. And that's what this man's about. That's what this administration is about. Everything you covered is about not telling the truth, not standing up for America. I just want to say one other thing, too. What you said is so important. We need strong Republicans. We need Republicans that are going to stand up on both their legs. They're going to speak out. They're going to have guts. They're going to have the chutzpah to do what's the right thing and really let America know what's going on and be willing to defend this great nation. Because if we're not careful, we're going to lose this America.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me, Jeff? You used to be a Democrat, and I bet you'd probably consider yourself one of those. I always call them Kennedy Democrats. The folks from the 50s and 60s that when they got a little older in the 70s, 80s, 90s, I was a kid and a teenager, my grandmother could talk to, right? She was a diehard evangelical Mennonite Christian Republican. But there were Democrats you could have a conversation with because your disagreements might be on union and abortion, and that's about it. Democrats still loved the country, wanted a tight border, backed up law enforcement, backed up our military, didn't have any of this woke BS. What happened to those Democrats? Because I'll tell you what, if we don't start getting some of them and stronger Republicans in D.C. to stand up to this regime, I fear for our country, Jeff, and I'm not trying to sensationalize this. I'm worried.
And you're not sensationalizing it. You're telling the truth. We're going to lose America. I was talking to you before, and I said I don't want to read a book someday, The Rise and Fall of the American Empire. I mean, when you talk about Jack Kennedy, he would be sick to his stomach if he saw what was going on now. This guy fought in a war. He believed in America. He told, Cuba where to go when they were going to have missiles right next to the United States of America. That was a different time. Me changing to a Republican is the best thing I've ever done. I'm a conservative. I always was. I was a conservative Democrat. There is no such thing anymore. There really aren't even moderate Democrats anymore. They may pretend to be, but if you look at their voting record, which is what I tells all, you're going to find they're not. So we've got a job to do as the Republican Party, and we better not be weak-kneed.
You got it. All right, so besides, you heard my spiel, I think a president allowing this invasion should be impeached, period. I know that some on the Hill don't want to talk about that because they did it so many times to Trump on stupid stuff, but let's be real. This is an invasion between the drugs, the human trafficking, the cartel, the guns, all the bad things and crime that are happening, not just in border cities like El Paso or Brownsville, but in 48 states across this country at least. It's happening. Why can't a president be removed for that? Then you add up, and let me ask you this one since you're on Judiciary, you add up the possibility he used, not the possibility, he did use his power as vice president to milk foreign nations for money through his son's business deals. Can we please impeach this guy over something and get rid of him and her?
Look, I've done bills to do it. I've signed on to bills to do it. The problem that we always have is we have a very, very small majority right now in the House of Representatives, which is better than not having a majority, but still. And secondly, you've got to get the Senate, too. You know, we impeach, they convict. So it requires, again, some guts. He shouldn't be there. He is impeachable, and the things that he's done, all the way from the false corporations they set up, his connects with Ukraine, illegal stuff they were doing, his connects with Communist China and the Communist Chinese Party, the money that flowed through to all these 8, 9 family members, all of this. It's unbelievable that this is still going on and hasn't been stopped. It's wrong. Mayorkas also should be impeached.
Yes.
You just can't have that job and lie the way that he does. It isn't like he made a mistake or, you know, he was playing around the edges a little bit and tells you things that aren't true. And it's all destroying the fabric and the strength of America. That's the sickest part. We're going to lose our country.
Yeah. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you so much. I know you've got to run. I ran out of time. Come back on, sir. I know you want to talk a lot about the windmills on the East Coast that are affecting whales and marine life and whatnot. So I invite you back on to have that discussion solely. I just wanted to get some of this out of the way with all the hubbub and news this week about the possible indictment of Hunter and everything else with the Biden regime. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Again, Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Take care. Coming up.